This is Singapore, the most expensive city in the world.
And this is me thinking about how I can work the same 8 hours a day in Singapore and make 3.5 times more money by simply living just a bit above Singapore at JB in Malaysia. You see, in 1965, 1 Malaysian ringgit was 1 Singaporean dollar. Fast forward to 2023, despite having the same history, the same racial harmony, and also the same freaking location, it's not looking so good for Malaysia, where I'm from. And as of 2022, the average salary in Malaysia is about $750 and in Singapore, it's $4,200. And you know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them. So I hop on a cab to the closest train station from KL and rode the train as fast as I could. But before I boarded the train, I suddenly realized something. Something has been at the back of my mind for a while now. I'm actually kind of nervous.
We're getting very close. Can't wait to reach JB.
I guess I'm just not sure if I can wake up on time every day. What if I'm late? Or worse yet, what if I accidentally bring chewing gum to Singapore? Will they send me to jail? It didn't help that the freaking train that I was boarding had a broken window.
I don't think that looks very safe. So I'm on a train to JB right now and it's extremely cold. And I totally forgot about my jacket as per usual. So I decided to wear 2 shirts at the same time because I'm smart like that. But yeah.
After freezing to death for more than 2 hours, I was finally in JB, and there's somebody that I'm super excited to meet.
So we're in JB and we have to kind of like find somebody right now. Hello.
This is Ash. She's got blonde hair, is really good at video games, and has been traveling daily from JB to Singapore for work for the last 8 years.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys though. Yeah, nice to meet you guys.
And this is you. You don't really want to know about you, okay? Maybe not yet. Now, you didn't think that I was going to jump in without a plan, did you? Ash was kind enough to say yes to helping me to prepare mentally for the big day with an interview.
It has been 8 years.
Oh, you've been working in Singapore for
8 years, yeah. I work as customer service in the oil and gas industry, and I also do YouTube, like for vlogs or Dota videos.
Is it tiring to wake up at 4 a.m. every day?
Not really tired.
4 to 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, some of the people only 3 hours of sleep.
Clearly, I was not prepared. Now I'm even more nervous.
Some people say it's like, wow, you have to like stuck at traffic 2 to 3 hours or anything.
Yes, it's not only the traffic. You need to go through the custom, you need to clear custom, you need to go through checkpoint, you clear checkpoint, scan passport. Then it takes up to 2 to 3 hours.
I am so screwed.
Prepare yourself in terms of mentality and physically.
Thanks.
Because you'll be very tired if you do this the first time.
After pushing the snooze button for a few times, I forced myself to get ready.
Extremely tired. Only have to start the day. Wish me luck.
I don't look like it, but at this point, this man had no soul. So I quickly took a short grab ride of around 10 minutes to JB Central that cost about surprisingly only 5 ringgit. The grab driver reached super fast, he was playing clubbing music, so I was pretty awake, man, but then I saw this.
What the hell?
Hundreds of people crossing the bridge, looking like tiny ants from my view. Now I'm even more awake. I reached JB Central around 5:50 a.m. People were waving goodbye to their loved ones, and there's just something very sad and kind of sweet about that.
We're going up. We're gonna go show our passports right now.
I got caught. The security saw me filming, and you're actually not allowed to film at the border. At this point, I was kind of freaking out, but luckily, they just let me go on a warning. After passing the immigration, which took about 30 minutes, I now have to queue up for a bus, which takes another 20 to 30 minutes. There are so many freaking people. The bus cost 2 SGD. It was also super cramped, and looking outside the window, there's like this giant group of motorcyclists just outside. Worried that I'd be late, I checked One Motoring, which is sort of like this government website thingy for you to kind of look at the traffic, and traffic was extremely bad.
I want to start working in Singapore now. Would you recommend me to get a place in JB?
If you are more energetic, I think you can live in JB and work in Singapore. But if you are not, I think I suggest you to just stay in Singapore and work in Singapore.
Things sound like they are gonna be hard for me.
As soon as I reached Kranji in Singapore, I had no time to spare. I quickly took the monorail to my workplace in Woodlands, which took me another 10 minutes and $1 Singaporean dollar. Fun facts about Singapore. Number 1, this place is so clean. Number 2, I think I can sleep over there. It is so clean. Number 3, everything is so efficient. People walk so fast. Sometimes I wonder where they're going to. Is it for work? An event? Before you knew it, I am now at work.
Why do you think that not more people are going to Singapore?
No, there is more people. There are more people going in.
Like-
yeah, because compared to the previous years, I think the
Before COVID.
conversion rate
It's gotten like way higher.
It was 2.8, 2.9.
Like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So now it's gotten like 3.5x and things like that.
Okay, so I don't actually have a job in Singapore. You liar! How could you? I hate you now, man. I seriously, how could you? How could you lie to me? How? Look, I'm sorry, alright. But my job is still a job and it is remote, and so I gotta work straight away. While that Chunwing is working, let me talk about something important. The common belief is that if you work there and spend there, it's not much of a difference. That means after you bring the money back to Malaysia, you won't make much anyway. It's both right and wrong at the same time. Because of this graph, if you look really closely, you'll notice something, which is that the largest expense for Singaporeans is actually housing or rental.
The rental in Singapore is very expensive.
It's actually 10% higher compared to the rest of the world because of how expensive Singaporean housing is. So it's about the same if you live in Singapore and work in Singapore. But if you live in Johor, you'll actually get the best of both worlds. Cheaper housing and a much higher salary.
Do you think it makes sense for a Malaysian to kind of go to Singapore and work financially compared to like just working in a job in JB?
I think it makes sense because if let's say in Malaysia, go into Singapore to look for a job, then it would be like 2K also, 2K Sing dollar. Then the conversion rate is like 3.4 now. So
it's like 7,000 ringgit.
yeah,
per
so
month.
yeah, so it's a big difference.
Just by crossing the bridge every morning, I can get 3 times the pay for doing the same amount of work.
Yeah.
On the way to lunch, I was getting kind of tired. For most of the people around me, they've been awake since 7 to 8 a.m. maybe. I've been awake since 4 a.m. so I'm really starting to feel it at this point.
A Singaporean friend taught me that I could actually do this and leave my stuff here and jump.
I was definitely not the only one doing it, okay?
吃快吃的。 So this chicken rice is about 350 Sing dollars and these noodles are about 4 Sing dollars. If you really compare the prices, it's actually not that different when you compare it to living in KL.
In fact, even though the pay in Singapore and Malaysia are around the same in each country's own currency, the buying power of SGD is much higher both in the country and outside the country because this iPhone cost them 2 weeks of work, only 2 weeks, and Malaysians around 1.5 to 2 months of work.
If you look at the prices, it's actually not too different. So for example, we're looking at Milo over here. If you look at the Maggi curry prices, it's actually around like $1.95 to dollar. It's actually so much cheaper compared to Malaysia actually. Got Tom Yum flavor over here, my favorite.
Groceries is also cheaper. McDonald's is cheaper, Starbucks is also cheaper. Lunch was pretty good until I started multiplying everything by 3.5 times.
So it's around 4:30 to 5 p.m. right now. I started feeling a bit tired sometime around 3 p.m. but now it feels like I'm about to crash and yeah, not feeling the best right now. It's really taking a lot on me. I really have to power through today simply because I still have to go to Woodlands, I still have to catch the bus back to JB, have to go through customs, and then after customs I have to take another bus back home as well. So Yeah, it's not fun. It's quite an experience, and I don't know how some people are doing this every single day. And so much respect for these guys.
After working just a bit more, I was finally ready to go home. I rushed out to the bus, not even kidding, queued another 30 minutes, and I wanted to so bad cut queues, but then I remembered this.
Is there any advice that you have for me?
Don't cut queue. People will hate you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oi, cut queue! And then I heard people fighting. Okay, they didn't sound exactly like that, but I was not allowed to film the bus stop back home. Basically, just a few steps away from me, a man was just pulled down from the stairs of the bus. Everybody looked like they were about to punch him or something. The guy didn't look too guilty, but he was definitely a little scared, so yeah, lesson learned. I hopped on the bus, which took another 15 minutes to get to the Woodlands checkpoint. Had to scan my passport once again. I met Ash there and we talked about our day while we queued again for the second bus, which took another 10 minutes to get to the border, which I ran to. So many other people were running as well, and yeah, finally I was back in JB Central.
Finally going back. Super happy.
I came in questioning whether I could make good money or not and whether it was even worth it. But after today's experience, I'm not really sure if that's the right question for me anymore.
What do you think are the things that you had to give up to do this?
Health and time.
Do you think like waking up early every day is actually quite damaging to,
To the body.
and you're not traveling like 4 to 6 hours a day anymore? What else would you do with that extra time?
Exercise. And also sleep more. Yeah, of course, sleep more. And also I can spend the time with the families and loved ones. Yeah.
Because for most people like Ash and the thousands of folks sniffing gas fumes, risking traffic and long queues, like 4 to 6 hours a day of just traveling, it's really not a choice. Ash told me that one of her friends had to work in Singapore for her father's medical bills. And she just had a baby. I can't even start to imagine how stressful it must be for her. In the end, whether you're Singaporean, Malaysian, or even an alien, we're all not that different. At the end of the day, when the sun sets and it's time to go home, for the most of us, we would do anything for the people that we love.